Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this House Sunday for Animals. Everything that goes into collection tonight will go to Acres Way Animal and Rescue Centre. And if you're able to bring along any non-perishable dog food, dry food, tin food, they'd be very grateful for that. And I've been asked, do they want blankets, towels, and that sort of thing? They do, don't they, really? All the centres are always asking for that. So, and these boxes will be here for about 3 weeks, or until you fill them up so high, we've got to get rid of them. So, our medium tonight is Chris King. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you.
And online, waiting in the wings, for those of you watching, we've got Claire Watson and Thor. Thor. Gray Maloney, that's it. I knew there was two words in it. And I'll now invite Chris to open our service in prayer, and this will be followed by the Lord's Prayer, which we will all say together.
Would you join with me, please, friends? Divine Spirit, we thank you for bringing us all together this evening, and we ask for all our loved ones in spirit to join with us. And I ask my guides, my helpers, my inspirers to draw close and use me as a pure, clear channel to prove the everlasting life and the everlasting love. We ask for healing to go out throughout the world wherever it's needed, to the war-torn areas and the areas of natural disaster. But for all of those that are suffering, whether in mind, body or spirit, we ask for your healing rays to go to them. We ask, of course, for your healing to go to the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, and to Mother Earth, upon whom we all depend. I ask that tonight my messages and my address go to the people that need them the most, but that everyone takes something with them from this service, which I leave in Spirit's hands. Amen.
Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. I will now light our church candle and invite those of you at home to light your own candles if you can do so. And as we do this, I invite you to ask your loved ones in spirit to draw close to us so that we may feel their love and presence all around us. May this be the candle to enlighten us all, the light of strength and love that spreads all around the world, the fire that enables us to burn out all our pride, our selfishness, and the impurities that are within us. May it be the flame that brings warmth to our hearts, warmth to our families, our neighbours, our friends, and all those around us, and those we meet on life's journey, and those who need it most. I ask you now, I lost my place for a moment. I ask you now to join me in sending out love and light to all those in need of healing. Loving thoughts and prayers create a strong healing feeling that can reach all around the world to all the people and places that need it most. I will begin by reading the names from our church healing book and then offer a healing prayer. And tonight our prayers are asked for Joan and Ken, Julie, Peter, Irene, Ray, Jenny W, Jenny S, David W, Jill, David, Stephanie, Julie, Fran, Veronica, Joan, Colin, Terry, is that? I'm not too sure. I hope I got that right. Cyril, Richard and Brenda, Martin, Carol and Bill, Peggy, Shirley, Billy, Eve and Peter, Margaret G, Dennis, Carly, Chris for progression, Anne, Kelly, Annabelle, Bobby, Joan, Luella, Shannon, Bonnie, Lincoln, Jade, Jenny, and Russ. And Dee Hunt, Jackie, and all the family and all the animals in our kingdom. Mark, Dean, Emma, Sarah, Nick, and Nigel. Dear Heavenly Father, we join together now to send our thoughts of healing, love and light around the world to all those in need of healing, both physically and emotionally. And we ask that it will also reach and protect our animal kingdom and the world of nature that is all around us. We pray that our energy may reach those who are cold or homeless tonight, and all those less fortunate than ourselves, wherever they may be. May our thoughts and energy bring love, calm and peace to everybody. And we ask this in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Saviour. Amen.
Amen.
We will now have 1 minute's silence so that you can send out your own personal thoughts and prayers to all those in need, those whose names we have read, and any you may now think of in your own private thoughts. And this will be broken by the singing of the hymn, Gracious Spirit, the words of which are in the front of your hymn book. I will now invite Peter to bring us our Bible reading for this evening.
Evening all. Lovely to see so many of you here, all along with your angels. Welcome to those online. Yesterday, being St. Patrick's Day, I've chosen the reading from St. James, Faith and Deeds. St. Patrick used the shamrock as a symbol to teach Christ in Christianity in Ireland, using the three parts to represent faith, deeds, and love. I've mentioned many times that the Bible readings are special to our church and are regularly featured in our services. But what is so special about the Bible to a Christian spiritualist church? Perhaps it contains a special history of ourselves, or do we see it as all the past sins of others in history? And we have progressed further. If that were the case, perhaps it is time to dispense with the Bible and move on. But in truth, we're still living the same mistakes of ignorance, unloving and cruelty. And we need to remind ourselves of what we've come to earth to learn and change in ourselves. I find that if we don't read with a sincere interest to learn, to study what we're reading, we tend to gloss over the words and lose the messages embodied within. So what does that imply? Perhaps firstly, do we have faith in what we're reading? Second, do we believe that the Bible has something to teach us? Perhaps third, do we want to use the guidance that is embedded in the scriptures? So we have faith, want and use. And to gain anything from the Bible, we need to hold all requirements in mind when we examine the various sections. Think of the Bible as a whole, Old and New Testaments, as they're still relevant. Also, you might find it very helpful to imagine yourselves in the part of the Lord Jesus. Brother Jesus is a very high and developed master and was before the world begun. He is always with us if we call for him. The point being that when Jesus came to earth, he filled the role of an ordinary person, suffering the same as any other being at the time, claiming no superiority other than his total faith in Father God. His message was to teach and heal. He also said that everything he did, we can do also. I believe this, but don't claim to be anywhere near in sight of such blessings. But by considering those three objectives, faith, want and use, when reading the Bible, somehow a particular scripture springs to mind, the message I need at the time. It would be nice to think that when I chose the readings, by whatever spiritual means it comes, my listeners might also see a message of some useful information to enhance their own needs. Tonight, James sets out straight away with a question in the first sentence, then sets out many examples for the reader to test themselves on their faith. It is not sufficient to say, I have faith or I believe, unless there is some substance to those statements, not just Christian statements, but all your beliefs through life. It may sound very simple, but it's not, and involves great difficult decisions. We have or generate through life special wants and desires that seek to take precedence on fulfilling God's commandment. But God knows that we are here to learn from our mistakes, and God gives much leeway. James said, testing your faith develops perseverance, and God gives generously to all without finding fault. Tonight's reading is from James 1:2, 14 to 26, faith and deeds. What good is it, my brothers and sisters, if someone claims to have faith but has no deeds? Can such faith save them? Suppose a brother or a sister is without clothes and daily food. If one of you says to them, "Go in peace, keep warm and well fed," but does nothing about their physical needs, what good is it? In the same way, faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead. But someone will say, "You have faith, I have deeds. Show me your faith without deeds, and I will show you my faith by my deeds. You believe that there is one God. Good. Even the demons believe that and shudder. You foolish person, do you want evidence that faith without deeds is useless? Was not our father Abraham considered religious for what he did when he offered his son Isaac on the altar? You see that his faith and his actions were working together, and his faith was made complete in what he did. And the scripture was fulfilled that says, Abraham believed God, and it was credited to him as righteousness. And he was called God's friend. You see that a person is considered righteous by what they do and not what they have faith alone. In the same way, was it not Rahab, the prostitute, considered righteous for what she did when she gave lodging to the spies and sent them off in a different direction? As the body without spirit is dead, so faith without deeds is dead. God bless that reading, and thank you.
It's now time for those of you who are watching online to leave us here in church and be joined by Rob, Claire and Thor, who will guide you through the rest of our service. We thank you for joining us tonight and look forward to seeing you all again soon.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you very much for joining us online here this evening for Animal Sunday.
Good evening.
Good evening. In true Animal Sunday fashion, we do have a tiny Boston Terrier sleeping next to us. So I must apologise in advance if you do hear some snoring in the background. It's it's coming from a tiny 6-kilogram dog. So the prayers...
You won't believe it if you hear it, but carry on.
She's tired. But the snoring is immense, so I do apologise in advance. So there were lovely prayers in church this evening from Chris and from Frank. And I'm going to hand over to Thor for a brief address this evening, and then we'll move on with some mediumship.
Okay, basically I wanted to say a few words before we move forward tonight, purely because it is it's in support of animals today. Just to really sort of put a question out there and say a few words. Let me ask you a question. Why do you think we keep pets? Pets are, there's so many things that pets do for us. We keep pets to learn from them. We keep them for companionship. They enable us an opportunity to exercise, to get ourselves moving, get the energy moving, and to take part in the energy they have as well. Emotional support. Those of us who are alone, going through difficulties, having that dog in your lap, a cat, even having a bird in the cage there you can talk to. Wonderful. It just allows you to talk, relax, enjoy yourself. They're mood boosters for all of us. And potentially Pepper may be that mood booster tonight, because if she does start, you'll know it. But I may have to move her, we'll see. Unconditional love. The love in the eyes of that dog, your cats. They will do anything for you, anything for just to get your time and attention. They slow you down. Healthy. It's connection with nature. It's getting connected with animals, not just other people, but they're having those animals there, and they are good for other people as well. So if you know friends who haven't got a dog, a cat, and you feel they could benefit from them, give them 5 minutes. Even just pop on the door and take the dog for a walk. Go give them a knock on the door and spend some time with them, just so they can share that love and that energy with them. Our children. We tend to have pets because we have children. If we do that, it provides our children with a sense of responsibility, a sense of understanding and purpose with regard to not just those animals, but also with regard to nature. To feel the love, but also to feel the other side, the side of understanding the longevity of our lives and in some cases grief. It's a tough process, but it helps us move forward and helps us understand in our futures. Once again, coping with solitude. Most of us we need time with animals. We need time with nature. If we can't do that, if we don't have pets, like I say, go find someone, a good friend who has, spend some time with them, or spend some time out in nature. What do we have to learn from the animals out there? The butterfly, which demonstrates an amazing transformation from caterpillar to that beautiful butterfly. Cats. What can we learn from a cat? The cats that always land on their feet. No matter how they fall, they will land on their feet. And if we have the right mindset and we're having a problem, an issue, if we have that right mindset, we can land on our feet too. That unconditional love of the dog, the support, the respect they give us, and the adoration. And lastly, the insect world. What do we have to learn from the ants and those creatures, that termites and the like, that actually work together the same way we should? It's teamwork and pulling together and taking our part, our place in society, and working well in that. Basically, to pull it together, animals help us heal. They help us understand ourselves, and they help us find peace within ourselves, peace and love. And our hearts go out to the animal kingdom tonight. And now we'd like to move forward with our readings. And once again, if you do hear snoring in the background, if it gets too much, please do let us know. She doesn't enjoy the readings as much as we do.
Oh, that was a lovely address there, for. Thank you. I just want to send out some healing for Dee Hunt and to your sister Jacqueline Ann Forrester. I know that you've been through a difficult time, and that you mentioned that you had your mother's funeral on Friday, and I'm so sorry to hear that. And just wanted to send some heartfelt healing from Thor and I to you both, and to the wider family as well. And thank you very much for joining us here online this evening. So the first person that I would like to bring forward from Spirit is a gentleman, and I know this gentleman would be a grandfather and father. I know that he passed around late 70s into his early 80s, no older than that. I don't want to say any older than 82. I feel this gentleman would have seen active service during the wartime. I know this because he mentions Juno Beach and Omaha Beach, and he's talking about earning his medals and working hard during his time with service. I feel the name Frank connects around this gentleman, and also the name of William, but shortened to Bill. And I understand this man to be very kind-natured. He has most beautiful blue eyes, and he would have been very, very proud of his family, very much family-orientated, and very proud of his service, and also of his grandchildren as well. I feel with the grandchildren, there's 2 grandchildren that he talks about, but I feel like since his passing, there have been more children coming to the family. I wonder if anyone can take that information so far. If you can, please send us a comment. If not, I'll carry on and just see what further information I can get from this gentleman. I know as I connect with him here, there are links to Tilbury. Okay, Rebecca, you're talking about your granddad William with an RAF link. Thank you. Hopefully this message is for you. Or Rachel, you can take all of this as well. Okay, there might be a few of you that can take this. If I come to one of you and the other person says, oh, I can take all of that as well, please listen to the message as well, because sometimes what Spirit do is they piggyback from each other. And if the sort of personality and the information is very similar, it will go in a couple of different directions. So as I was just saying there, I know that this gentleman would have connections to Tilbury, and he's talking about something to do with the Tilbury ferry. So I don't know if I'm not saying that he would have worked on the Tilbury Ferry, but he would have enjoyed doing that. Like he would have would have enjoyed being on the Tilbury Ferry. He's talking about travelling a lot as well. I feel like he wouldn't have been the type of man that would have settled in one place for long. I feel like he liked to travel around and he liked to get out and about. Very much an active man. And I feel towards the end of his life, it was just a very sort of gradual slowing down with him. Because as I say, his mobility doesn't feel affected. I feel like he was quite active just right up until his passing. And with the passing, I feel that this was a heart condition. I want to say like heart failure, but it was over a period of like several months. I don't feel it was just kind of a very, very quick passing with this gentleman. So I'm not sure if you can take this information so far. So Rebecca, I know you said that your granddad William was RAF, and Rachel, you could understand this, but Rebecca, you don't know your family too well. Okay, no worries. What he's coming forward to say, so if I give you the message, that might help clarify who.
I just cut in. I think this gentleman has actually got an engineering connection. I'm getting a very strong sense of actually working on engines. I do wonder whether the connection is with the ferry. Also, he could potentially be with aircraft planes. But he's still very much an engineering individual. He was a man very capable with his hands. You name it, he could make it. But on the engineering front, he was very, very talented and very capable. Sorry.
Okay. Oh, no. Rachel, you've just confirmed about the engineering. Okay, great. Thank you. He's also drawn my attention to a pocket watch that was left behind, and it's a silver pocket watch with a chain, and there's an engraving on the back of this. And I have the feeling with the engraving on the back, it was to do with his time with the RAF. It's almost like a sort of a long service award or something like that, but as a pocket watch. Maybe you can understand that. I want to say with this gentleman, with the message coming forward, there's a little bit of concern. Oh, okay, you understand the pocket watch. Thank you for clarifying. There's a little bit of concern about a younger member of the family and their speech. And I just feel that it's important to mention this because it's like there's a bit of worry going on. So I don't know if this is your son or somebody else within the family, but he's just saying that the speech is a little bit delayed with one of the little ones. But I want to say to you not to worry about this because that child will catch up. But I know that there's been some like stress and worry around this at this time. And he's just saying, just relax, all will be fine. You just got to be patient and this child will catch up. So hopefully you can understand that message. He's also talking about recently painting a fence as well, but somebody missing bits. So I don't know if that was you or somebody else in the family, but they've been outside painting their fences. I don't know if it's even as recent as this weekend, but I just see the vision of somebody outside painting, but they've missed a few bits. And he's just saying, I was watching and I noticed that you missed a few bits.
This chap was, I think it's the engineering contact as well. He is very particular. And it's quite funny because as Claire said about there's parts that aren't covered, he literally said, missed a bit. And laughed. He's got quite a sense of humour. Okay,
no, you can't understand the painting. Okay, not to worry. But if you do go and do some painting, just be very thorough.
Don't miss a bit.
Don't miss any bits because he's very particular about the bits being missed there. Okay. Oh, somebody's saying they're cooking tonight. Oh, thank you, Jonathan. That's lovely, and God bless you too. So going back to this spirit person here, he's just saying he's a very lively spirit, and I want to go back to March as well. Somebody had a special birthday in March. I want to say around about like the second week of March. I want to say around about like the 10th, the 11th. Oh, sorry, you're at home decorating, about to paint. Okay, well. As I say, I felt that it was fences. That's what I saw being painted, but please don't miss any parts of the painting. But would you understand the connection with March and the special birthday? I say around about the 10th or 11th of March, around about that time, you can understand that. Okay, he's just very coming forward, very, very active and very, very high energy. And he just wants to bring his love forward and just to say to you that spirit around you at all times, supporting you when you need it the most. Don't worry about anything going on in life at the moment. All will be well. Just be patient and good things are going to come. He's talking about you taking a holiday later this year. I don't feel that you're traveling too far, but he's just saying that you do need the break and make the most of it because he knows that you run around a lot. So I'll leave his love with you and I hope that that message resonated. Okay.
Okay, well, earlier today, I've mentioned this to Claire, that earlier today I had the name Cooper came through. A young gentleman, I'm not sure, but I almost had the feeling it was a Christian name as opposed to a surname. And along with that actually came the name Daniel as well. This gentleman was in his late 30s, early 40s, I believe, when he passed. And I have two conditions actually working with me here. And one is actually quite a strong wheeziness in the chest. The other was, I believe, a cancerous condition. I do believe they actually occurred at two completely different times. The cancerous condition actually being the first, I believe, but he actually came through that. This gentleman is very energetic. He's almost sitting. He's literally keen to get me information through, and it'd be interesting to see if you speed up when if you connect. But because Claire has a habit of speeding up when she connects really well. So, but he's very lively, very energetic. He's very, very keen to come through. He was actually a very keen sportsman as well. Keen sportsman. He had, I believe, he had young children as well when he passed. And he really wants to send his love. I don't know whether anybody can take this gentleman. He was actually, my understanding is he is actually local to the area, to Canvey, Benfleet. I'm actually getting more of a feeling for Canvey Island, that kind of area. And excuse the snoring, please. And just put me off.
That's okay. As Thor was saying about the sports, I feel he's very much into his bodybuilding and into his fitness and looking nice.
It was a good run.
Yeah. Took great pride in his appearance. Just wonder if anyone can take this information so far. So we have a gentleman that would have passed a spirit, sort of late 30s, early 40s. The name of Cooper, also the name of Daniel, and we can also give the information of around the heart, and we feel that this would have been a cancer condition as well, but later on. So there's two separate health conditions going on with this gentleman. Very loving, and I feel he's very family orientated as well. As Thor has said, he left behind children. I feel that I want to say there's two children. I want to say a boy and a girl, but I feel that these children would have been under the age of like about 7 or 8 when he passes, because I still feel they're at primary school. Very hard-working young man and very talented, and I feel that he would have been very good with his art. Not so much painting and like oil paintings or watercolors, so much like that, but very good at drawing, graphic art, graphic design. As I say,
Craft.
very
good at the craft, crafting things, putting things together.
Okay, so Jonathan, you have said, what's this person young? It might be for me. Okay, so we had a gentleman Thor connected with just before we started the live, and we got the name of Cooper and also the name of Daniel. We feel that the connection is to Canvey Island or to Benfleet. This gentleman would have passed around late 30s, very, very early 40s if he got as far as into his 40s, but I keep coming back to late 30s with him.
He had two separate conditions.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. Thank you. Okay.
Sorry.
Not sure if anyone else can take the information so far. Okay. If not, unfortunately, we'll have to move on.
We'll pop him aside and connect with him later.
But maybe somebody watching later on who might not have joined the live may be able to take this information.
Yes.
So a lovely young man coming forward. So thank you. Okay, so I am aware of a lady coming forward, and I do want to say this lady is Mum. She passed with very much a breathing condition. So I feel like I'm talking about COPD, and I feel like in the last weeks of her life, she would have been on oxygen permanently. I feel like the oxygen thing, she would have had oxygen tanks at home, and then she would have gone into hospital and been on oxygen permanently from that point on. And I feel like there's like, it's a very deep congestion within the chest. And I feel like this lady, as I say, I feel like it's a COPD condition around the chest with her. But because I feel like talking was a struggle at the end, just with being on the oxygen for so much. And I feel like this lady, I want to say the age of 84. I know that's quite specific, but this is the age that she's shown me. And it's almost like I didn't make it as far as 85. I was really trying to hold on till I got to 85, but I just couldn't hold on any longer. And this lady is lovely. She's very gentle, very kind lady. She's quite petite as well. She's quite small in her frame, so I feel like her shoulders are quite sort of slim and petite, very feminine. Okay, your mum died of Penny, COPD. Your mum died of COPD. Okay, I'm so sorry to hear that, but I'm not sure if the description will fit for you. Just let's see how we go with this. So would you understand your mum to be quite a slim build and quite sort of narrow shoulders, very feminine in her dressing and in her way? I don't feel that you would ever have heard this lady speaking badly about other people or swearing at all. That was just not her.
Very gentle lady.
Very gentle, very kind. And she has very small hands as well. And I feel like with her hands, the fingers were quite thin as well, because I'm seeing jewelry on her hands, but the ring that I'm seeing on her, it's almost like kind of like childlike size, because I just feel like it's quite small fit.
62.
Okay, so your mum was 62. Okay, for some reason I got this lady as 84, because I felt like she was saying that she just didn't reach 85. So I may be completely wrong with the age, but listen to the information and see if the description fits for you. As I say, mum, quite a slim lady, quite well dressed, quite feminine, quite into her looking nice.
She did lose weight towards the end,
yes,
as well. Although she had actually quite a very slight frame, she did actually lose weight towards the end, and it was very visible. With this lady, very
clever lady as well, and I feel like she had a lot to say. And you could talk to her about all different subjects and she would know something about everything. So, which sounds an odd thing to say, but say if you were to talk to her about nature or something, she would come up with facts and things like that. I feel like I'm speeding up with my talking. I feel I'm sorry, when I get on these lives, I talk really, really quickly, but it's spirit, it's the energy, it just speeds me up. So, but I feel like mum was much more gentle. She wouldn't have spoke as quickly as I am now. But so hopefully you can understand that. But she just wants you to know
she had a lot of friends as well.
She was a popular lady.
She was a very, very popular lady. There were a lot of people aware of her condition, a lot of people looking after her and actually popping in when she was at home to actually look after her as well. I also believe there was a lot of people around her before, as she passed, a lot of people coming in to actually see her, to touch base with her and to just give her love and healing as best they could.
Your mum was an animal lover as well, and I think that's why she's come forward this evening, because we're doing the Animal Sunday. I just feel that she would have loved the company of animals. I don't necessarily feel that she had many animals through her life. I feel like we're talking maybe one or two, if at all, because I say it's more like she spends time with animals, then comes home, rather than the responsibility of having an animal to care for. But I just feel with her up in the spirit world, she's very much fine now, and it's important that we let you know that. I know that you worry about her and you think of her morning, noon and night. That's only natural, but I feel like this lady has been over quite some time now, and I just feel that she just wanted to come in and say hello, and I'm here and I love you and I'm always around you, and I feel like it's important that you need to hear that. Just very, very kind lady. She gives me a little orchid to give to you as well. I feel like that was a popular flower, like a favourite flower of hers. Like you can get the white orchids with it's got like elements of pink and purple just dotted around. I'm seeing one of those with her. So hopefully that message has resonated with you, and we leave our love with you. Okay.
Okay. Right. I have another lady with me now. She's once again, absolutely lovely lady, lovely ambience to her. She was very, how can we put this? She was very loving, very caring, very approachable, until you upset her. she would be very approachable, and like if someone actually struck a line with her or something like that, and something wasn't quite right, or they didn't do her right, or something like that, she would actually unfortunately take a little bit of a sort of an issue with them, and would actually be quite forthright and to the point, and would actually come to the point of actually saying, well, I wish to disconnect. And she wouldn't actually just disappear, she would actually say it. She'd be quite to the point about it as well. I do believe that this approach did actually affect, in some cases, her relationship with her own family. To be honest, there were times when parts or members of the family weren't actually speaking. But I believe she's actually come through that just to actually apologise for those. So basically, what we have here is a lady who's not outspoken, but she's very, very loving. But if you, like I say, if you crossed the line, you knew you'd crossed that line. Have you got this lady? She's quite strong. This lady, isn't she?
I'm laughing because she's being gentle with you, but the language that I'm hearing in the background is not so gentle. And she's just saying that she would have told it how it was.
She was chalk and cheese. She would be one way or the other.
You very much, if you were in her favour and got on with this lady, she would have loved you to death. She would have been, all over you, and she would have been wonderful. If you crossed the line with her, she never forgot it. And there would always be that sort of element of not holding a grudge, but just that element of letting you know that, she hadn't forgotten about what you said or what you did. I feel this lady to be quite curvaceous in her build. So I feel like she's quite a curvy lady, but she's not, she's not shy of that. She's embraced it. And she said, you know what, I am who I am. And if you don't like it, look the other way. And that was her approach to life. I feel she's very forthright, like you said, very fun, loving lady. And I feel that she has this like real booming laugh. It's like a real deep laugh with her. And I just feel that she was just fun, and she just loved life. And I feel that towards her passing, I feel that I'm being drawn, I want to say, like around a breast cancer condition. And I feel like it spread quite quickly. And it was a matter of literally, I want to say like 3 to 4 months from becoming ill, being diagnosed, and then to her passing. So it wasn't very long at all. And I know this to be true because I know with her family, it still feels very raw. And I feel that this lady has been over, I want to say at least 2 to 3 years now. I feel like she's been over a little bit of time, but it still feels very painful and very raw for the family left behind, because it was almost like everyone was going along, everyone was happy and things were fine, and everyone was just doing their thing. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this illness came down and everything changed irreversibly.
And she did not show it straight away. She was aware of it, but she did not actually tell her family either.
She tried to protect many people with this.
She that kind-hearted side of her, actually, she was almost pushing people away. So my understanding from her is that she actually was talking about that harder side. That harder side came through quite significantly, sort of 3 months before she passed, purely as almost like a protective instinct for others.
It was just about her just trying to be strong for the family, keep everybody going, keep everybody together. And I just feel that she just wants to come forward to say, I am here, I am absolutely fine. Please don't worry about me, because I'm kicking some thick backsides up in the spirit world. I'll say that politely.
The other message, the other part of the message is that on those last 3 months, she is very apologetic with regard to the way she was with some people.
And also, I know there's talk of a bucket list as well. There was a lot of things that she wanted to do before she got really, really ill towards her passing. And I know that there was a lot of things on that list that were done. And she just wants to say thank you so much for all of you for pulling together and getting it as many things as we could do done, because it's important that she acknowledges that. Really lovely lady, but she's just got so much energy. She really has. She's just
the word I was going to use is powerful.
Very much
so. The energy is pulsing. She's absolutely lovely.
Very much so. But
and she was not very content that she very much felt that she was taken
too soon.
Yes, I agree with. Yeah, can anybody take this lady at all? If not, we will actually we'll pop her aside. And
Hopefully
see-
that information resonates for
Yes,
somebody.
yeah.
If not, then as I say, we will move on. But sometimes what happens is spirit comes forward and it's not always taken straight away. And sometimes people that are not able to get onto the live for whatever reason, they come back to watch the video afterwards, and then the information resonates. So hopefully this lady fits with somebody. But she's a really, really lovely lady, and I just feel she's very special. And she just wants to come forward to send her love. So we will leave her be if nobody can take her.
No.
But okay.
You got
Yeah, I've got a younger gentleman coming forward. So I feel like there's a young man. I say young man because I feel that this young person coming forward is under the age of 21. And I feel with his passing, it was quite sudden. And I still feel that there's a lot of people still in deep mourning for this young man at the moment. I want to say with him around about the age of I'm being really torn here because one part of me wants to say 17, one part of me wants to say 19, so I'm not quite sure where I'm going with him, but I just know that it was an accident and his passing was very, very sudden. Excuse me. With him, I just want to put across that whoever hears this and whoever knows him and who needs to hear it, to know that he was taken out of his body before what happened. And there was no pain involved. And it's important that he gets that across because I know that there are people out there worrying about that and it's playing on their mind immensely. I feel that this young man, he's very frantic and a bit chaotic with his energy because I feel a bit fragmented with him. And by that, I mean in a really lovely way, but I just feel like he could jump from one subject to the next. And you'd be talking about something, and then the next thing his mind's on something else. Okay, Lindsay, you can understand him. Okay, let's see what we can get with him. Would you understand his personality to be like that? Very lively, but very 1 minute talking about one thing and 1 minute talking about the next. I'm not sure if he had like an element of ADHD with him, but it's just that he's very scattered in his approach. As I say, I'm just trying to kind of connect with him and get his energy, and I just feel like I want to be drawn into one subject and I want to go into something else.
He's trying to draw the energy from different directions as well.
So hopefully you can understand this, but a lovely, lovely young man. And he would have been very attractive looking as well, because I feel like, you can understand that his energy was frantic. Yes. And I just feel with him, it's important to say to you that, you know, as I say, with the passing, there was no pain. Everything was, the spirit world met him before there was anything like that.
It was instant. It was literally one moment he was there. Next minute.
Is 1 minute here, next minute taken. But there's a lot of people out there just still mourning for him. And I just need you to say, he would say he was handsome. Okay. Well, I'm going to describe him as handsome because to me he is. He has a beautiful head of hair. I'm seeing like a dark hair with him, but it's almost like a very neat cut. Okay, so it was a motorbike accident. Okay, thank you for clarifying. And I'm so sorry to hear that. He just loved life and he still loves life now. And he's saying, I'm around big time. Don't you worry, because, you know, there's so many people that are struggling with this. And he's just saying, I visit every single one of them all the time.
He's still frantic.
He is. His energy is very
much so. And I would almost get the feeling that there would be a number of people within a room would actually feel him at the same time, because he is still trying to communicate and get his message out to everybody at the same time. He's an absolutely lovely lad. He means well with everything he does. But I think the motorbike element, he was very, not just fast in his approach in life and his approach to people, but he just loved speed. He liked to be on the go. He liked to be fast, and he liked to be. It was almost like that mind needed to be going all the time, and he needed to get it out there and out of his system.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. He's just wonderful, this spirit, really is. And you just need to know that, was there money raised after this accident? Because I just feel like there was something done in his memory for charity. And he's very, very proud of that being done. And also he's talking about two things: the helium balloons being let off by like one group of friends, but also another group of friends or family or something did something similar, but it was Chinese lanterns, you know, when you let them off and they just go up into the night sky. Somebody also was talking about naming a star after him as well. And it's important that I get that in. And he had a love of drawing stars as well. I don't know what the connection is with the star thing, but it's important, and he keeps going over this. Yes, there was a memory at 10 years old. Okay, thank you. It's just really important. He's saying he really looked up to you. I'm not sure if you are related, you being his auntie, or he would have called you auntie, but I feel you were very close to the family, and I just feel like he would have looked up to you and admired you becoming an adult and being an adult, and him thinking, you know, when I get to be an adult, I want to be mature and kind like you are. Just a lovely energy with this gentleman, he really is. And I just want to say that it's very tragic when people are taken from us far too soon in accidents and everything like that. And it is heartbreaking, and it is tragic for any passing, not just for sudden passing or, you know, anything like that. But he just wants to know that his energy goes on, because he's just saying it was my time and I couldn't change it. And this boy, and I'm going to call him a boy, even though he's more of a young man.
He saw himself as a boy.
He saw himself as
Very
it's like
much.
Peter Pan. It just
he was.
feels like he just wanted to be young forever. But he had a heart of gold, this boy, and I just feel like, did he cut grass for you at one time, or do something like that? Because I just feel like he's taking me to a memory of cutting grass for you or helping you with something. And he's just saying you were so happy to have help from him. And as I say, he really did look up to you, and just know that he's around you and his spirit.
He loved spending time with you, and he still does. It's exactly that. But I think you should actually, there will be times when you will actually feel him around. And there will be just a little something moving, rocking, something when there's no breeze or something like that. He will make it known that he's actually there. And his message is really that he will be there, and he will continue to be there.
He had a lovely smell about him, this young person. He's very much into his aftershaves and his trainers as well, because he takes me to those. And he just liked to smell nice. And he's just very much, as I say, just in, you know, like being a typical young lad, just getting out there. He was just finding his feet when he passed, and he was just getting out there and starting to kind of explore the world and do his thing. And he's also taking me to, he had a dream of going over to Australia and to Thailand. He wanted to travel, and he said, I'm fine because I get to see them all the time now, so I get to travel as much as I like. So know that he's around you. You also lit a candle for him just recently. I don't know if this is like, but I want to go back to April with him, celebrating a birthday. If it's not for him, then I apologise, but I feel like there was a birthday in April that was celebrated, and I feel like a candle was lit. So hopefully you can understand that. But just want to leave his love with you and just say thank you for being you. Thank you for looking. Oh, well, okay, you spent a year with his brother in Australia.
Yeah,
okay, thank you,
excellent.
because that's
Okay.
the link we're talking with Australia.
And it's interesting as you actually said that, because what I was going to say is that with regard to not just yourself, but he wants to get the message out there as well with regard to his other friends, just to say that he is there, and he is to make sure they're aware that he's still there, and that he's in such great form, in his best form where he is now.
Very strong.
Yeah,
So
very
he's
strong.
fine.
Lovely
Absolutely
energy.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so we leave his love with you, but I'm glad that you can take the April and you can take the connection to Australia as well. And God bless you. Thank you for working with us. Okay. Do you have any?
Go on.
That's it.
Come on then.
Okay. I do have a lovely lady coming forward, but I feel this lady is more a grandmother. But I feel she's quite young to be a grandmother. And I don't feel that she was too old when she passes to spirit. I feel like no older than around about 70, because as I'm looking at her energy, she looks quite young to me. She looks quite fresh-faced. And I just feel that with her, it's another case of, unfortunately, passing to spirit too soon. And I just feel that, as I say, with her passing, I feel like it was more of a sudden passing, or at least it was unexpected. And I feel it was like a very short illness, like I want to say like a flu or something like that. And unfortunately, this lady it was literally like days or a week max. I say she come down ill with like a virus.
I believe it's COVID related.
COVID, yeah.
That's what I'm getting.
Okay.
Very much so.
Yeah, I just feel, as I say, so this lady, she would have passed no older than 70. She's quite young, but she's a mother and grandmother as well. But she's quite young in her approach. She's quite energetic. She's quite, and I want to say, it's funny because I'm 43. I lost my grandparents quite some time ago now, but my grandparents were traditional grandparents. Okay, so they were in their sort of late 80s, 90s when they passed. And I'm going back quite a few years with my grandparents. I'm the youngest of 4 children, so I do come from older parents. But as I say, with this lady, it's very different. It's a complete opposite. It's almost like she became a mum fairly young. She had her family quite young, I want to say like early 20s, and then she became a grandmother as well, and she loved being a grandmother. And she's the type of lady that would have got down on her hands and knees with the grandchildren, real like rough and ready playtime. And she's quite trendy as well. When I say about, I say with my grandparents, they were quite traditionally dressed, like the pleated skirts and the comfortable shoes. But this lady is not like this at all. She's jeans and trainers all the way, and I love the hoodie as well. So she feels like very modern, to be a grandmother. And that sounds a strange thing to say, but she's quite sort of.
She's quite like she's very fond of nicknames as well with the children. She had nicknames for all of the children. And like you say, she was always involved and always never stopped, always on the go.
Very active.
Active indeed. And like to actually, she wasn't limited to the house or anything like that. She was out and about. She
Very
was
much
not going to be
so.
held back.
No, and I feel like she was working pretty much right up until not long before she passed.
Yeah.
And she was
caring for others.
Others. She was very active in her job, because I see her walking backwards and forwards to local shops a lot as well. And I know that sounds an odd thing to say, but that will trigger a memory for somebody, because you never saw this lady sitting still for long. It's almost like she would have things to do, but if she didn't have something to do, she would make herself busy with something to do, just by going for a walk to the shops.
And she was renowned for it, because it was almost like that was part of her social life. She couldn't be at home on her own and not talking to somebody. She wanted to go out and actually just say, hello. And even with people that she hadn't met before, she would actually literally talk to people.
Just out and about.
Almost to the point where it was actually quite surprising. Someone would think, well, who's this lady?
Yeah, she had an infectious personality, an infectious laugh as well. And I also, hi Maisie, so you can understand this lady. Would you know of a French bulldog around her as well? That just came in really strong. But I feel that the French bulldog is still here on Earth rather than with her in spirit. But this lady just was full on active. And Celia Newman, you might understand this person as well. Okay, the French bulldog is important to mention, and it's a beige French bulldog. I know sometimes now, like you can see them in different colours, like the sort of dark grey and everything like that. I feel like this is a beige French bulldog. If it's not her bulldog, I feel like it's somebody around her that would have had that dog, and that she would know of this dog.
Very fond of that dog.
Very fond of spending time with this little French bulldog. And she's bringing me aware, as I say, with her passing. I feel like it was a sudden thing, because, as I say, it was almost like a week. Oh, we've got a little Boston Terrier on the go. French bulldogs are in the family, but weren't hers. Okay, so you understand that she would have spent time around the French bulldogs. This lady has a lot of energy with her. She's like, I'm still here. I'm still fine. I'm absolutely active and fine. But as I say, I feel with her, she was quite like well dressed and trendy. Like with, I want to say trainers. Oh, that's her son. Okay. The trainers. She would have liked her hoodies as well. I'm not sure if she was a smoker, but I'm getting that kind of like huskiness with the voice, and a little bit of a smoker's cough going on as well. So if she wasn't a smoker, I know she didn't spend time with the French bulldog. Okay, but you would just know of that French bulldog being around. Okay.
She did like a tipple as well.
She did like a drink.
Not a big
Not
drink.
saying she's a big drinker, this lady. No, but I'm just smelling alcohol with her. And she
end of the day, she'd just like to, every now and again, it's been a good day, I'm going to have a little drink.
Yeah. Just, I feel like a sweet drink as well, like a glass of rosé wine, or like a nice, like Jack Daniels and Coke, something like that. It's like a rum or something like that. She was, I don't know, she's just lively, this lady. She just, her personality. Okay, so Celia, you can understand some of that, but not the dog. Okay, let's see what we can get with either of you, because I'm not sure which one we're with. But Would you understand the huskiness with the voice, and the sort of deep laugh when she would laugh, and the smoker's cough? I'm not sure if either of you can understand that information, but and would you understand the way of her dressing as well? So she would have worn like she would have liked her trainers, and she would have. But I'm talking like nice trainers, not cheap trainers. But this lady had been a smoker, but she would have liked her trainers, and she would have liked her hoodies as well. Okay, this lady is taking me to being very down to earth, and she's saying I was down to earth. I loved my shopping as well. And I say, when I was talking about her walking up to shops, that was like a paper shop. So she would have walked up and down to a paper shop, but she purposely would have gone to, I don't know if it's like Lakeside or Blue Water or one of the big shopping centres, but she loved a wander around the shops, just window shopping, just looking around at everything. But she loved looking around at all different things. Very much a homely woman as well, because as I'm working with her energy and I'm being drawn to her home, is very much, she would have liked, as I'm looking, if you can see, I've got a little Buddha, what's that crystal?
Where is it?
That way, sorry. I've got a candle on the go and I've got a Buddha. And I feel like she's drawing my attention to that, because she's saying, I liked that star in my home as well. And I loved a candle. A nice candle, though. I want to say quite an expensive candle. She didn't like the cheap B&M one. She would have preferred to pay out money for a nice candle, because she said to me that the scent lasts longer. Okay, this lady would have loved being outside as well. She would have loved her garden and spending time outside in the summer. She's very much a sun lover.
Kept the house very clean as well.
Yes,
She's always dithering about keeping things clean, and it'd almost be a case of you know, after everyone had gone, she'd be straight out there, everything cleaned, and within 2 minutes it's gone. You know, everything's clean and wonderful.
Okay, so you can understand this. Okay.
Amazing,
Yeah, I just feel like her energy is just like still 100% there. Like how she was in life, rushing from A to B and getting out and about and everything, keeping busy. She's still very much in the spirit world. And I feel like Thor said earlier, okay, Silly, you're saying you're not sure I can understand. I think we might be with Maisie with this one. She knew a lot of people, and even she was surprised.
She has a lot of people up there as well.
Yes,
very much so. She's got a very similar. It's the level of charisma this lady had, and she is surrounded. I believe she's quite a big family, actually. Yeah, and there's a number of members there, and she's very, very much supported, and she's very she's just
full of beans, and and she's showing me it's like a symbol of something, but like a jar of the jelly beans, and she's saying the variety of life. Try all the different flavors. I know that she talks about you being busy. You've got a lot of things coming up this year as well, and she likes the fact that you are busy and similar to her nature as well, doing things. You're not one just to kind of like rest on your laurels. You want to be up doing stuff and busy and getting out there. And she says, I love that about you.
She wants to be out there with you doing it.
Absolutely.
Quite honestly.
But excuse me. But are you talking about changing something in your home at the moment? I don't know if there's like wallpaper being needed to come off walls, but I just feel like she's taking me to your home, and I just feel like there's a change being done at the moment, or being talked about to being done soon. And I feel like it's like wallpaper related, something to do with that. Hopefully that makes sense for you. She's just talking to me. I know I have met you before, Maisie, but I don't know much about you. I just met you a reading event we did for you. So I know that you have young children, and she's just coming in to say, I look over the children as well. And she would have loved Easter as well. I feel like she would have made a big thing about Easter and giving Easter eggs to the little ones as well. She has a lot of love for you. I'm not sure, I can't remember if you said the connection between the two of you, but I just know that there's a lot of love there, and just wants to say thank you, not just to you, but to all of the family for all your support to everybody and looking after everybody, and just being there and just listening. So thank you very much. And she sends all of her love. Okay.
Okay, I have a young lady here at the moment, and when I say young lady, I mean very young. She's around the age, I would say, of 12 to 13, and this young lady, she what I'm getting with her is a very strong asthmatic condition, and I believe that's what took her when she passed as well. Very gentle, very quiet. She's got a quiet little girl, reserved, and she would sort of almost be in a corner, if you like, and she was an observer. She liked to watch the world go by and see what was going on with everybody else. But saying that, she if you interacted with her, she would actually come out of the corner and she would have a wonderful time. But it's almost like you needed to ask her to come out, you know, or there'd be times that too many people would be a little bit too much for her. When she passed, it was quite a surprise. Even though she had this asthmatic condition, it was not expected to be as serious as it was. And it was quite a shock to many people. I'm getting the name of Amy. I don't know whether this would have been the little girl or whether it would be someone who was associated with this little girl. I don't know. Have you got this?
Yeah, I have. I feel this this young girl, as you've described her, quite shy and retiring, and she wouldn't have been one to push her way forward.
No.
And I feel like that's why she's kind of waited patiently in line to come forward this evening. But one of you listening knows this young girl or knows of her family, and
taking it to the animals as well.
She loved animals.
Also
like rabbits and guinea pigs.
Very much a case of almost like with, like you say, the rabbits and guinea pigs. But if you've got little dogs, anything like that, absolutely love them. And we just sit in the corner with them, dead silent, not a word, nothing else, and just spend time with the animals.
Lovely young girl, and loved school, loved learning, and just very peaceful.
Very
intelligent young girl, but just very peaceful in her nature. Yes. And she's almost like, I want to say, almost like an old soul, this young girl, because she would have loved fossils and like the natural world and discovering things like that and plants and things like that. And it's just really tragic, you know, that she did pass so young. But you're right, I just feel with her energy is very gentle. She's just come forward. I feel like she has been passed for some time though. At least, I want to go back at least 10 years with this young lady. And her energy is just very, very gentle.
She left a brother and a sister behind as well.
Yes. Yeah.
And they're very much so. It's also almost like that connection would be with a brother or a sister that I'm actually getting through.
But I just do.
It's quite funny. I'm going very quiet because it's almost like I'm taking on the way she used to speak.
Yeah, she was very quiet in her nature. Very talented with art and drawing, and I feel like she would have loved painting and colouring in and doing a lot of things with colour and things like that. And I feel like this young girl, she just needed a little bit of extra support with her learning as well. Just because sometimes she just, in the learning environment, sometimes it would become a bit overwhelming and she would just need some time out from that. Very lovely young lady.
And with the condition and when she passed, no one would have known. No one could have known she was going to go when she did. And
I do feel like the passing was at school. This is why I think it was such a shock for so many people, because it was literally, there was nothing that could be done. And as I say, I hope that somebody listening can recognise this young girl and know of her family or friends or somebody that you can maybe pass this message on to, that she is absolutely fine in the spirit world.
I do not get the feeling that it's a family member that we're talking about here. It is a friend. Or
a friend of the family would know of this information.
Would know of it, but she's very, very keen to come through. Very, very keen to get the message across, just to say that she's wonderful where she is.
I also give the name of Sophie around this young girl. If that's not her name, then it would be connected around her quite close. As I say, I just feel, and I want to go to like the summertime when this young girl passed to spirit. I want to say like July, August time. I just feel that there's a connection with the school as well. I'm not sure how that fits in, but I just know that there's a connection with the school with her passing, and that there was an assembly done for her as well.
I was going to say, I almost said a church
It's like a
service.
big gathering of people.
That's interesting.
Yeah, just
exactly
a big gathering of people. But and it's talking about playing on the school field as well. So somebody would recognise that information. But if nobody can take her at the moment, we will move on. But that information is there, and so hopefully, if you watch after the catch up, then
this young lady. The one thing I would say before we leave her love with you, is that I'm getting paper folding, origami.
Oh yeah.
And she was someone had actually taught her how to do origami, and she was amazing at it.
Yes. I'm seeing,
I can see the little figures.
Yeah, and I'm seeing with her, the things you used to do with, you get the 4 corners of the paper and you put them in one way and then you fold them out that way and you write things on it. And if you choose number 4, you open that bit and everything like that. She would have loved doing that as well. Very active young girl, but as I say, if nobody can understand the information, we will move forward. But and just if you do watch this after the live, then hopefully somebody can take this information and pass on her love to her family.
Yeah, she's delightful young girl.
Okay. I do have somebody coming forward. I have a gentleman coming forward. I feel this man would have passed no older than about 65. He's got a young energy, this gentleman, and I feel this would be Dad. And he's quite a joker, this gentleman, as well. He's got quite a sense of humour, but he wouldn't have believed in all of this, and he's finding it quite amusing that in this day and age that we're sitting on the internet talking to you live and that he's able to communicate through us and talk to everybody. So that would have really amused him, because it's just so far out of his belief system. Not that he would have dismissed the spirit side so much, but it just didn't fit with his beliefs. And so for him to find himself on the other side and in the spirit side was a little bit of a shock. I feel with this man, his passing was quite rapid. I feel like we're talking about, it went from being fine in the morning to not being fine by the time we would have got to the evening time. Mm-hmm. It's literally, I feel like there's a heart thing with him. I don't feel it's like an underlying condition. I feel it's just something quite sudden with him. Okay, Mo, your dad passed at 63 and he wouldn't have believed in this. Okay, hopefully this information will resonate with you.
The feeling I'm getting is it's not only the, I feel he's been passed for some time, because it's not just the spiritual side of things that he wouldn't have believed in. It's the fact that we're on the internet talking the way we are. He's quite fascinated with it.
He's just trying to work out how it's all going to work. It was a heart condition. Okay.
Okay.
I just feel with him.
Oh, excuse me.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I just feel with him, he's very much, he's a joker, and he has a lovely sense of humour, this gentleman. And it's almost like he wants to take me back to give you memory links to times when you would have had family parties, you would have had barbecues outside as well. And I know that his garden was very, very important to him. He literally loved being outside. And he passed sometime. He didn't see the internet. Okay. He's shown me, I'm not saying that he would have done this, but what he's shown me something to make you laugh and to make us laugh is, when you see like somebody sitting on a deck chair in a vest and shorts, and
Karen here as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
Karen, and also Alison.
Oh.
So we may have a few of you that
Got a few.
can. He was a farmer. Okay, you may have a few of you that can resonate with this information. And again, when we said in the beginning, sometimes they piggyback. If they see like a space, they'll sort of grab it and say, "Oh, I can get a message to my family and loved ones as well." So all of you, please do listen. So this gentleman, he's showing me a memory link of somebody sitting on a deck chair, a gentleman wearing like a white vest and shorts, and the hanky on the top of the head with the 4 corners tied in knots. He's just saying, "I absolutely loved sitting outside, not doing much, and if I could get away with doing nothing, even better." And
but saying that, when he actually was, once he did get
going,
he really got
going.
Yeah, but it was once he stopped.
Once he stopped, he sat down for the day. That was it. There was no getting him back up. But Karen, he loved a barbecue, and I feel like he was like the barbecue king. And I know your surname is King, but it's almost like he is. He's out there. He's and Mo as well. You sent in that postcard once, Chair. Okay. We might have a few going on, but let's see where we're going. Okay. The gentleman, as I say, I just feel there's such an energy with him, and he's just a wind-up merchant as well. And we had a connection earlier. We were talking about painting and missing bits, and he would have been exactly the same way. If you were painting, he couldn't have helped himself. He would have had to have said, "Oh, you've missed a bit." And he's just a real joker, real jovial character, and just full of banter as well. And with his personality, he's very much a storyteller. Not all the stories were true, but he would sometimes elaborate a little bit on the truth, but not in a bad way. I'm not saying that he was lying or anything like that, but he just would kind of stretch things a little bit just to have a laugh
He was
with people.
very,
Just
very good at twisting words and twisting
and very
things,
much so.
so it would actually almost activate a reaction. He loved the reaction from other people.
He was. He's just said to me, I was salt of the earth. And that's how he's just described himself. I was salt of the earth. And he was very genuine gentleman, very kind-hearted, very giving and very loving. And he would give somebody the shirt off his back if he needed to. Very empathic gentleman as well. So if you were going through a hard time, you could just spend time in his company and, you wind up anything. You could just spend time in his company and you would instantly feel better. And I have a love of only fools and horses with him as well. That's significant because he's saying, even when he was having his bad days, he would sit and watch a bit of Del Boy and Rodney, and within 10 minutes, he was killing himself laughing and all was right with the world. And his character is a little bit like that as well, a little bit, not saying for a minute that he was like a dodgy dealer or anything like that, but he's just got that sort of personality that it was infectious. You couldn't help but
He was
be
as straight and honest as it came, quite honestly, but he just loved the reactions of the people.
Okay, so you can understand the only fools and horses, and you bought him a key for Christmas one year.
Okay.
Yeah, he was just a real wind-up merchant. But he loved seafood, this gentleman, as well. And it's important that he gets that across because he's just saying, I love my seafood. I loved, like all the, jelly deals and whelks and all that sort of things, like the East End connection with the seafood. So I don't know if there was an East End connection with the family going on there, but he's just taking me to the food being important. And he would have loved that on a Sunday. He also is talking about getting together as a family, having a Sunday roasters together as a family, and just having that time just spent kind of chatting and catching up. And very much a lover of Christmas as well. He takes me to Christmas. And I know that Christmas is not ever the same without his presence, but he's saying you do your best and you make it right for everybody else.
And he never misses a Christmas.
He never misses a Christmas.
No.
We're talking about having a place set for him as well. So he's talking about somebody setting a table and having a placemat with a napkin and a cracker for him. Christmas just gone, I'm talking about. So if you know that connection, then you know that's definitely him. And also with the Christmas tree as well. Christmas just gone, I feel like baubles would have kept coming off the tree. Different baubles would have come off the tree. Would know that was him. He also draws my attention to robins in the garden as well. And he said, I want you to know that when you see the robin, that is me visiting. I'm always around. And also he likes to leave a little feather from time to time for you. Little tiny white feather. In the places where you least expect to find a feather, he's leaving them for you.
The tricks continue with this gentleman as well. He moves things around.
Yeah. You used to take him to Scarborough just for his seafood.
Yeah.
Oh, well, lovely. That's a long way to go for seafood. But it's lovely in Scarborough, so well worth the journey.
Unless you're watching from...
unless you're watching.
So, but basically, what I would actually say with him is that the games continue. And Claire's reference to Christmas, Christmas and the baubles, there's continuous things that you will find at Christmas during the Christmas period. Things moving, things being in a different location, and just unusual things happening.
Yeah.
And even to the point of like, for example, you've wrapped a present, you've put it somewhere, you know you've put it, and it's somewhere else.
Yes.
He
absolutely.
continues.
He's a real gentleman, this man. Yeah. And I know a few of you are saying that you can take the information. Sarah Cleveland Dunn, I know you can say you can take the information as well. Yeah. And as we explained, sometimes because I know that we are starting to run out of time, unfortunately, but Spirit do piggyback and they will try and get as much information to as many people as they can, because when you have kind of 2 or 3 people similar, they will try and kind of get that message out as quick as they can. Yes. So please, all of you do take something from this message as well, because it's just wonderful, you know, how Spirit work. But he's talking about son-in-law as well. So he's talking about son-in-law to this gentleman, having a beer for him on Christmas Day as well.
And having the same sense of humour as well.
Yes, very much. And because I know he's that to be right for, because he's just said a chip off the old block.
Yeah.
So very similar, the son-in-law and him being quite similar in nature, very similar in nature and wind-ups. But he just sends so much love. He said, don't you worry about me. I'm busy up here. I've got lots of things to get on with. So
lots of people to trick.
Lots of people to trick. Yeah. But he loved his family, loved the grandchildren, just loved spending time with all of you. And sorry that he had to leave when he did. But unfortunately, he's saying that when our time is up, and he would have loved to have stayed longer. But just know that even though he's not here physically, in the spirit world, he's watching everything that's going on.
He's very much just so about it. He doesn't feel cheated of time or anything like that. And he says you should feel the same way.
Absolutely.
He's basically saying that it was his, like as Claire said, it was his time, and that should be accepted, and just accept that within yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, he tells me that somebody's talking about changing their car at the moment. I see a silver car being changed for something else. He's saying, absolutely go ahead, but just be careful before you sign on the dotted line for anything. Just make sure that you do all of the checks that you need to do, because he wouldn't want you to make a mistake. Okay, so just be cautious. Don't rush into just going out and buying the first car you see. Just take your time with it, because all will be fine, but just he wouldn't want you to make a mistake.
Check underneath the car.
Yes. Okay, so we hope that resonates for you all. Unfortunately, we are out of time. It's incredible how quick the time goes,
Yes.
and how quick we can talk when we get online as well. So I hope that we've given you some lovely messages this evening, and thank you very much for joining us tonight. Okay, thank you.
Okay, enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Oh, thank you both. Some lovely messages there. Really appreciate that. Well, we've got Frank's cards, and then we'll come back to you for a closing prayer, if that's all right.
Lovely. Thank you.
Well, good evening, friends. Thank you for joining us online tonight and watching along. Lovely to have Claire and Thor with us tonight. Good friends of the church, and some lovely messages there. As our regulars will know, though, we can't get around to everyone with a message in the evening. So that's why Frank from church draws 3 animal cards each week and records a clip earlier on today. Each card is marked with a different crystal, so just tune into the crystal that you're drawn to, and let's see what uplifting thought we have for the week ahead.
Good evening. Our first crystal this evening is the amethyst, and with that goes the card for the lynx. The lynx is about the importance of trusting your intuition and instinctively knowing what's going on behind the scenes and uncovering the truth, but also the need to keep your plans to yourself. Lynx are often symbolic of futures unknown, information that's there but hidden from view for now. That doesn't mean they are to be feared. There may be a lot of activity going on. It's just not out there in the open where you can see it. However, since the lynx can also refer to your intuition or your psychic gifts and your instincts as to where to go, are probably right. You should trust your intuition and push any fears aside. All will be revealed when the time is right. So worrying is just a waste of time. If there is a situation or person you're not sure about, then listen to your feelings and your heart. The lynx is a magical creature, viewed as a knower of secrets. What the lynx doesn't know, they have the mystical ability to find out, as they are quiet watchers of all that is happening around them, and able to stay perfectly still and silent as the world goes by. Likewise, at this time, you are being asked to be quiet and pay close attention to all that is occurring around you, so that you may be prepared for what is coming in the future. And our second crystal is the rose quartz, and with that is the card for the deer mouse. This card is about focusing on detail, thinking of the future and keeping everything just so, and providing constructive feedback in a kind manner. The dear mouse asks you to put a little structure around all that excitement. He compassionately informs you that haphazard creation can often turn into chaos. Have you thought through all the possibilities of your plans? Or are you overanalyzing them, perhaps? This is the time to reevaluate. It's definitely time to get organised. This card can also indicate you have a great knowledge and desire for leadership and the skills, or you need to take charge of a situation. It may seem that this card is all about those details. Our little friend is always thinking ahead by storing away what he will need for the future, whilst taking only what he needs and leaving sufficient for others. When he remains focused on the larger picture without skipping any of the necessary steps, he has the ability to do great things. As to you, the dear mouse is highly resourceful, thereby making sure his plans come to fruition even if he himself cannot complete them. By planning responsibly yourself, you'll have the same kind of success that he has. Dear mice are always seeking their own cleanliness. They like their fur to be perfectly groomed, neat and tidy. And they ask you to remember you only get one shot at the first impression, so make sure you are prepared for when it comes. And our third crystal is citrine, and with that goes the card for the gazelle. This card is about being prepared for any challenge that comes your way, even if it prevails after setbacks, and protecting your interests. It says you are so close to the finishing line now. You've worked hard, and what you have created is very impressive. But then suddenly you may be caught off guard by one last annoying detail or problem that has to be taken care of first. But don't worry, it will be okay. You'll get over this bump in the road, just as you've got over all the other challenges along your journey. So stay determined and protect the fruits of your labour. Think creatively, as it may be that the best path is not quite as straightforward and simple as you thought it might be. Gazelles are incredibly graceful animals with the ability to escape danger by moving in a fast and unpredictable manner. They can evade predators by running in a zigzag pattern rather than a straight line, and thereby confusing whoever is chasing them. Gazelles thus signal the need for you to be flexible and alert as well. Gazelles have the ability to leap straight up into the air so they can see over tall grasses, so they can represent your ability to assess a situation and act quickly. It can also suggest that you may be interested in the environment and you are a person who is keen to protect the earth and all its inhabitants by helping others to see the truth as you see it. 3 good cards there, all on a similar theme, all promising you that the future will be good if you prepare well for it. Thank you for listening.
Lovely, thank you, Frank. I just noticed in the comments there, just before we go to the closing prayer, Karen said that she is changing her car Wednesday and has a silver car. So if you remember to Claire and Thor's last message there, I'll just bring you on the screen both. Incredibly good validation there, so excellent.
Yes.
Oh, lovely. And happy driving in your new car.
Yeah, we wish you well instead. So I'll hand back to you both now, Claire and Thor, or one or the other, to do a closing prayer, and then we'll play the closing vesper after that.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us online this evening. Okay, if you'd like to join me in prayer, please. Divine Spirit, we thank you for bringing us all together this evening, for facilitating the bridge between the spirit world and ours, for bringing forward messages of comfort and love from spirit to those in need. We ask that all healing energy generated not just in our online service, the church service, but to all services taking place this evening across the world, that all the healing energy as a collective be sent out across the globe to those most in need of healing, to the animal kingdom, the natural world, and to bring peace to all. We thank you with love and light. Amen. Okay.
Well, very big thank you to our mediums tonight, Claire and Thor. A lovely address earlier as well, and some lovely messages. So thank you both. Thank you also to our medium in church tonight. That was Chris King. And tonight, both online and in church, was our Animal Sunday, our special service once a year. So the donations and the free will offering from tonight will go to Acres Way kennels and cattery, the rehoming of those animals. We're also collecting food and toys and blankets, a little bit like Harvest, over the next few weeks, which we'll take down to Acres Way here in Thundersley. So if you are local to the church or you're coming to any of our events, then please bring anything you can spare. Thank you to Frank for chairing in church tonight. Thank you to Peter for the Bible reading. And thank you to Frank for your cards at the end there. Thank you everyone for watching online. As always, hope you have a really lovely week ahead and hope you can join us next Sunday at 6:30 again. Until then, take care and good night.